Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Saturday, November 2, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern, when you learn to love yourself. Every breath becomes a prayer of gratitude for your own existence. Then you arose. This is a major embracement for humanity, for every one of us. The act of perpetually appreciating yourself is the most tender, radiant act of self-realization we can discover. It means stepping out of our normal habits of playing small and shifting into the boundless, ever-expanding space of our own heart and soul. It is a deep recognition of the divine essence within you, within all of us, and learning how to bathe in its infinite light. You could watch and observe the civilization, right? You don't judge, you just, from the heart-mind. As you interact with others and you communicate, do things with them, you begin to realize how few of us genuinely love ourselves. To appreciate yourself is to stop all the mind chatter and whisper gently to your soul, I see you. I feel you. I deeply respect you, just the way you are. It's recognizing that your heart deserves to feel loved and accepted as it is, without needing to give anything back in return. This feeling of appreciation is like a river that flows freely, without limitations or conditions. When we retrain our brain to focus on only the positive aspects of ourselves, we can feel our soul beginning to breathe and expand into its full, unrestrained majesty. How do you love and appreciate yourself when the mind is filled with self-criticism and underhanded judgments every day? How do you do that? It starts with awareness and a willingness to recognize these thoughts without attaching to them. Instead of pushing the negative thoughts away, you simply observe them as if watching clouds drift across the sky, allowing them to pass without getting attached to them. In those moments, you create a space of gentleness and acceptance, making it possible to turn inward with kindness rather than judgment. Gradually, over time, you can replace self-criticism with self-compassion. You transform every judgment into an invitation for deeper awareness and spiritual growth. You have been criticizing yourself for years, and it hasn't worked. Try approving of yourself and see what happens, Louise Hay. So this practice doesn't mean forcing yourself to believe in a few positive affirmations overnight. Rather, it's about honoring your journey and letting small acts of self-appreciation slowly take root until they feel natural and real. Over time, your mind's harshness softens and a genuine sense of appreciation begins to emerge. You start to see yourself as an evolving masterpiece, beautifully and perfectly imperfect. You have been criticizing yourself for years, and it hasn't worked. Try approving of yourself and see what happens, we say. Now, we can accept ourselves on new levels anytime we choose. Even learning to appreciate our self-perceived flaws, when we embrace the understanding that all human beings are perfectly imperfect. It is easy to embrace each unique, wounded, or weak aspect inside ourselves as a vital part of our journey towards growth and evolution. By accepting our darkness fully, we reach a space where our spiritual essence is untouched by the negatives of the mind and this world. Seeing the whole truth clearly, we can know without a doubt that our entire dark and light essence is divinely orchestrated, sacred, and perfect, exactly as it is. When you start practicing accepting and appreciating yourself as if it were your new religion, you might not feel much at first. You may feel like you're pretending to feel good about yourself and end up doing lots of efforting to arrive at some almost real feeling. This is because the underlying emotional self-worth program has been mainly run by negative, sabotaging thoughts and beliefs about you. It can take some time for new self-loving, positive belief patterns to uproot the old ones. Yet eventually, they will begin to dig deeper and grab a hold of your heart. When they do, you'll feel such a deep reverence for yourself and life. You can test it by taking a long look into a mirror, gazing deep into your eyes, seeing the soul inside you. When you truly look with the same eyes you once had way back when you were a newborn baby, you'll experience the deepest love for yourself possible. A lot of us believe that, newborn baby, and you look in the eyes of the baby and you see this wonderful, peaceful, bright light. And some people say, it's a reflection of the lights. No, it's the God within the body. And I believe that people think we lose that, as the body ages, it grows. But it's there. That same peaceful reverence, that powerful, sparkling light behind the eye is still there. It doesn't go anywhere. Doesn't become weak, and it's always there. Every wound, every scar, every shadow can be cradled with compassion, not judgment, with these newborn eyes. It feels like there's this natural sacred alignment with the divine, a healing pulse with the heartbeat of this universe that is flowing through you as you look deep into what this soul is inside you and awaken to the deepest truth of your spiritual essence. Learning, and it is a learning for us. Wanting to is another. to embrace the love that we have for ourselves. Self-appreciation feels like sinking into a warm ocean of peace, where every cell of your being is nourished, softened, and healed by the tenderness of your being. You are not doing anything to become anything or anyone different anymore. You are simply being who you are right now, and being with what is moving through you every microsecond. From this pure beingness, space, you will naturally speak to yourself with kindness, compassion, and gentleness. Awareness is heightened, and it is easy to catch the old thinking patterns of self-criticism before they can enter. So we get to a point where, yeah, they're coming in, right? But we intercept them. We know they're coming in. See, most of us don't know they're coming in. But when you get to full comprehension, then you'll see them coming. You'll feel them coming. And you'll negate them, because you know what they are. So you catch them, these old thinking patterns of self-criticism, before they can come in. With deep self-appreciation as your most devoted, whatever you want to call it, religion, practice, it feels like your soul is being bathed in the softest, most healing golden light. Every breath contains a deeper whisper that says to you, you are so amazing, magical, and beautiful, just the way you are. You move differently through this life because you are more patient with yourself, forgiving of your perceived mistakes, and celebrating your triumphs with equal grace. It is easy to listen to the quiet guiding voice within, trusting it above the noise of this world. Your everyday choices reflect a deeper sense of worth as you naturally say yes to what nourishes your spirit and no to what drains it. See, it's about when we intercept these. Before we didn't intercept them because we weren't aware. So as we become more and more aware, we intercept them. They don't take hold. They just float on by. And we get in that habit after so long, and, those clouds going by, we start seeing shapes in them and everything. Then we want to grab them, pull them in. It's tempting. It's always tempting. But we get to the point through practice that we just say, we're not grabbing it anymore. We're not bringing it in anymore. No matter how juicy it seems, you know within yourself, you say, no, I'm not going to bring that in. Boundaries become acts of compassion for yourself, not resistance towards others. You no longer seek to be right about anything or require validation from others. For you are already full, already radiant in your own being. Every breath you take is a devotion to the masterpiece of your existence. You prioritize rest, joy, and nourishment. You create space for silence, reflection, and play. You allow yourself to dream again, to imagine the life that your soul longs for. And with each small step, you honor that vision. You stop rushing because you realize that your worth is not tied to your productivity, but to your beingness itself. Continuously accepting and appreciating yourself is among the most sacred ways to live. It awakens the greatest spiritual journey to unplug the deepest well of your own heart, where you can discover that the love and appreciation you've been seeking your entire life has always been right here, waiting for you to come home. We have this, you can see as you uncover many things about yourself, and your surroundings, you really start to pick up, and with deep understanding, comprehension, you see how you have been programmed. And it's not anger. It's a wonderful discovery for ourselves to identify this, not judge it. We just say, wow, I've been really programmed for a long time. But I'm also grateful for the programming, because without it, would I have gotten to this state of awareness? Okay? In all things, where there's good, there's bad, and where there's bad, there's good. It always, in everything. It's just what we choose to embrace out of the two. Now, many of us on this planet, and it's just because we just don't recognize these things, that we have literally been immersed in an ego-mind existence, in a physical material body, and then a world of physical material things that occupy the ego mind, which in turn leads us, guides us, and controls us. Now, when you discover that, then you say, well, then what's the other direction that I can choose to take? And the other direction is that to love yourself deeply and eternally, 24/7. We're not talking about ego-mind love, arrogance, and self-worth. We're talking about heart-minded love, which emanates deep within you of the God, the pure consciousness, the kingdom of God, the heaven, the source creator that you are. So it's about discovering areas that we probably would have overlooked forever had we not been immersed in the ego-mind pattern of control and direction and guidance. See, we have this wonderful opportunity now we have a comparison, so to speak. We have a comparison. So we can look at the ego-mind life, which we all participate in. And then we could look at the heart-minded life, which so many of us have not as of yet stepped into. Now, some would look at it superficially and say, heart-mindedness sounds like it's boring. You just run around hugging yourself and others. Right? That doesn't sound fun at all. The ego mind sounds a lot more exciting and venturesome. You know? But the heart-mindedness is 1,000-fold. Because what it does is you begin to master you. You begin to identify, without judgment, many, many, many things. You look at things much differently because your focus and priority is you, is the love that you have for yourself, is the continual journey within you, so that you then become fully embraced by the God that you are, and vice versa. And you communicate on an ongoing basis with that God. And you begin to know who and what you are. Now, with the ego mind, you can't do that, because it's all falsified on who you think you are. Now, we've been doing this for eons, right? And more of us are discovering that it is all about you. And that literally fades away the ego-mind impression of that and ushers in the heart-minded impression of that. That you deeply and eternally love yourself 24/7. That you respect yourself, honor yourself. That you are in high reverence of yourself. That you forgive yourself no matter what is going on. What does that do? Well, it is your natural state of being. It's all of our natural state of being. So what does it do? It affects everything around you 1,000-fold more than ego-mind existence. Okay? Now, the ego-mind has served a wonderful purpose. Serves a wonderful purpose because it gives us the opportunity and ability to differentiate, say, okay, so I know what ego-mind is. I know what it is because I have been mastered by it for many, many lifetimes, which is not a negative because I'm at this point with myself of comprehension, saying that now I much, much, much more in the deepest of gratitude embrace my heart-minded self. You see, and the gratitude for being in heart-mindedness is that much more because now you can look at the ego-mindedness and say, wow, what a difference. Each have their strengths, right? And each have their weaknesses, so to speak. But to live within and to know that you're the God, that you're the pure consciousness, that you have the ability to bring in anything you choose in your life. And this is all connected. So as we begin to discover more and become more and more aware, along the way we begin to master the ego mind. Not argue with it or get upset with it, or you learn from it. And then when you have ego mind thoughts rush in, you immediately are able to stop them. Right now, majority of us have no clue about any of this. Zero. Does that make them any different? No. They're gods in the body. It's just that they have not reached, in their own choosing, a level of comprehension and awareness. They will, inevitably so. So when you look at the love that you have for you, how you embrace yourself 24/7, it shifts everything. You're not doing it to get something. You're doing it because you enjoy it. It's your natural state of being. At first, maybe iffy, right? Little not sure. But as you continue, it becomes warmer, deeper, loving, off the charts. You begin to relax more into yourself. You view things much differently. When you're not viewing things, see, in the heart-mind, you're not judging anything. You're not judging you. You're not judging a blade of grass. You're not judging anything. You have no reason to. Everything is perfect exactly the way it is. And so when we look at that, so if everything's perfect exactly the way it is, perfectly imperfect, then the time we spend is directed towards us, to ourselves. It affects everybody around us. It affects everything around us. The universe says, wow, okay, so you have discovered you. Have you ever done that? Have you ever, truly so, through heart-mindedness, spent time with yourself in deep love for yourself? It's a biggie. It's a biggie for most of us in the beginning. To spend time with yourself in the heart-mind, in total silence, and embracing the deep eternal love you have for yourself. Now, when you're able to do this, every moment of your existence, you have now come home, which means that you have discovered the God that you are. You're not ever going not to. That is eternal. And your entire life will completely shift and reflect that. You'll have things take place because of the fact that you know the God that you are. And that it should be this way, and it will, that whatever you're the master and commander of your thoughts. And the ego mind has found peace through your awareness. So it's almost like, I'm going to have a piece of toast. So you have a piece of toast. I'm going to put this or that on it, because that's what I want. So you have it. No different than that. When you send out your power, and you meet the power and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, which is a reflecting election of you, and then you request or ask for, then it is. It's automatic, period. There's no second guessing. There's no doubting. There's no fearing. It doesn't exist. It's just a matter of fact. This is how this civilization will evolve into the spiritual existence of self-awareness. And it'll be an everyday occurrence where when you desire or want something, you're just going to have it. It's as apparent as the nose on your face. It's not going to be a big deal, but you'll be in deep gratitude every single moment. See what I mean? You'll be enthusiastic about it. It will never, ever, ever, ever get old, boring. Because remember, then you'll send thoughts out and you'll manifest and create different adventures in your life. There will always be an unknown element. See, you imagine if you brought things in, right, for you to experience. And you knew exactly how it was going to play out. every single time. I guarantee you all of us would be bored to tears in a very short period of time. So this is why we create things that we don't have a clue as to the outcome of them. And we're not attached to them. And we don't have any expectations to them. We just know, inherently so, as the gods that we are, that whatever it is, whatever we want, it will materialize. See, it's like in our country. As the employers, we had a certain level of comprehension, respect, function, fluidity, operation. But then when we took a long vacation and came back and found out that it had switched, and we didn't know it, and we were slaves to the former employees that we created. So the self-awareness is that we don't forget who and what we are ever again. That we continually embrace ourselves and deeply and eternally love ourselves every bit of existence. Never ending. We begin to comprehend the fact that we are all one. All playing out different directions, same path, but different directions in our lives. All adding on a continual basis to the God, to the pure consciousness. We're all contributing on an ongoing basis. We don't ever stop. This is how everything is created, because of the vast knowledge base that we experience, we create and experience. See, this is how planets can be created. This is how everything in the universe can be created. Because of the vast knowledge and the vast trillions and trillions and trillions of years of experience. We create it, we experience it. And it's very diverse across the board. How do you think that we came up with so many varieties just on this planet of trees? Why couldn't there just be one tree all over the planet? And no diversity and no variety. Could be. Why would we want to do that? It'd be boring, wouldn't it? One color in fall, right? In autumn. That's it. Not an array of colors, but one color. Well, we don't swing that way. We want massive diversity and exploration and expansion and display the level of deep eternal love that we have for ourselves in all things reflects in our creations. Doesn't it? It does. It reflects in our creations. This is why when you see a sunset, you go, this is the God that I am. That's the God that I am. Not arrogance, not ego mind, heart-mindedness. It's a fact. I am part of everything and everything is part of me. That's a fact. It is literal. It isn't figuratively. And it's about us, excuse me, it's about us recognizing that, embracing it fully, all the time. So in the quiet time of this meditation, as you're relaxed into your body, and still as a statue, focused on your breath rising and falling, the space between heartbeats, love you 100%. Embrace who you are. Love the God that you are. deeply and eternally. Start it now. Build on it. Go deeper and deeper within you. Focus on the love that you truly are, always have been, always will be, ever, beyond, and forever. Not just once in a while, all the time. And you talk about magic happening. Holy cow. I'll join you in meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. Take an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still, relaxed into your body, focused on your breath rising and falling, the space between heartbeats. Who are you? Are you this body and mind? Are you this name? Are you what other people say you are? Or are you what you believe that others think about you? Think about how you define yourself. And what specific qualities have you placed on top of you? This is the big question. I invite you to inquire into it today, to become deeply curious about who you are really. Remember that totally loving and accepting you is the ultimate destination. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. And we'll return here Sunday, November 3, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, and purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's happening within you or outside of you. Open your heart. Allow the magic to flow in.